Well, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. It has been a roller coaster for the LCK summer split. A lot of inting, a lot of running it down mid, a lot of upsets, a lot of happiness, a lot of sorrow, a lot of overall League of Legends joy. But it all led back to two teams inevitably meeting up in the finals, a rematch of the spring split final. You have Griffin going up against one of the best color coded organizations of League of Legends history, SKT. So let's talk about all of the matchups, play styles, what they could draft. There's so much and rich history in all of this when it comes down to LCK finals. Legends will be born and losers will be made, as second place is not good enough for either of these two teams. What's a good actual standpoint for both teams moving forward is that there's a lot to unravel here. So let's kind of just bring it all back. Let's bring it back a little bit before we actually preview this final. And I will be previewing the other LPL matches as well, since there's other playoff matchups going on right now. So Griffin and SKT have been through their own struggles during the actual summer split. SKT started off very slow, even almost dropping a series to Jin Green Wings. You had Griffin not looking as good when they first came in, and then they ended up switching out Doran, or they ended up bringing in Doran for Sword. Sword was their original top laner. I'm pretty sure he's still contracted on the roster as well. Griffin had been playing really bad. They had ended up losing to Afrika, Genji, and that was like, what are they doing? Their players started kind of lacking in certain areas, more or less so how they were trying to, what it looked like to me, they were trying to overall, dumb down their play to see how they could improve as players. What was so really interesting about Griffin was that they actually started to get better as the season progressed for them. Each week you saw improvement, and then later on they all started coming back to form. SKT started off a little bit different after MSI. It was very slow for them. Then they kept losing. At a certain point, you didn't even think if they could make playoffs, actually. But after one KT roster series where the Telecom Wars were at their complete lowest that they've ever been, SKT started turning it around. They went on an insane winning streak. They won so many matchups in a row against every single top tier LCK team, and even beating mostly every single bottom tier team. What was really so interesting about how they lost actually was they lost to Hanwha Life, ended their win streak. That was crazy, wasn't it? So after that, they all eventually got into playoffs. Griffin came in as the first seed. SKT obviously came in as the fourth seed, and Afrika came in as the fifth seed. Sandbox and Damwon obviously having better split than SKT, thus having their record a little bit further in terms of match points. Every single team was close in match point. The issue was that the match differentials in game wins matters more for seeding. So Griffin were automatically seeded into the finals, while SKT had to fight actually through the wild card round, which they had been accustomed to before. Back in season 6 spring, they actually fought through the wild card round, and they actually beat Jin when Jin made the playoffs. So just goes to show you how much Jin has fallen since random times of making playoffs versus going 0-18. So SKT's first round is up against Afrika. They're actually pretty close, best of 3. I actually think that series could have went the distance if it wasn't the wild card best of 3 match. I don't even know why that exists. I still don't know why it's just not a best of 5. Is it too much to just add it to a best of 5 to make that match a complete best of 5? I don't know why it's a best of 3. Makes no sense at the end of the day. But overall, after they beat Afrika, they later on go to just basically, dismantle Sandbox and Damwon. They completely just obliterate them. They stomp them so hard that Damwon and Sandbox brains mentally collapse in every single game afterwards. They just completely steamrolled everything. The playoff buff for SKT is in effect right now, and a very, very key thing, as you probably already noticed while looking and watching this video, if you're just hearing it, or then you'll probably notice me talking about it right now. And if you're visually watching the video, you'll already notice was that SKT, all the way up to this point, I'm pretty sure in around week 5, they actually swapped out Mata for Effort, and Effort has been actually playing really good, but he does get caught out at random times, which is pretty much like his only fault. So yeah, they haven't even been running the super team. Well, 4 of the players are superstars, and they have the one average player. Usually tends to be their support as their average player, but you know, looking back at Wolf from back in the day and Pumandu, obviously, but overall they've been running with Wolf, and Damwon have been running with Sword, and it's been a 2 different types of roads for these teams. But SKT's playoff buff kicked in. They completely demolished Sandbox and Damwon. Damwon even had the MVP of the split, which was Canyon, and that completely fell flat on its face. I hope they are able to mentally recover, because that is just a disappointment performance for their part. SKT have been playing absolutely incredible, and looking back now on the matchup, if you're talking about top lane, if they choose to run Sword or run what's his name, Doran? Yeah, Doran or Sword, if that's the name of the new guy. If I'm butchering the new guy's name, please forgive me. Then I think Khan has the edge in the top lane. Khan has been playing back to his, I think, his Longju gaming days. He's been an incredible top laner at the moment, though he still can be exploited and he can be beaten. I feel like right now he's the better top laner of the 2, but it depends on how they're going to draft. Are they going to be drafting for Khan's lane? Is he going to be getting the Jace? You know, in finals, Khan loves to play the Jace, but I'm pretty sure the Griffin coach should never give him any relevance of Jace in a final. You have Tarzan and Klid. Both have looked incredible this split. I think this is a complete collide of how strong these junglers are. Tarzan has been great. Klid has been great. Klid has been a driving force for SKT all year. Tarzan has been a driving force for his team all year. Both are incredibly mechanically skilled junglers who can do everything you could ask for in a jungler, and it's pretty much an even matchup, all things considered. You have Faker playing up against Chovy in the mid lane. Now, most people would say that Faker would dumpster him. Chovy's been playing really well himself. He hasn't really ever fell off. You know, I know Griffin has this thing with their little choking spree, but I mean, they've only played like 3 splits. Are they really chokers at the end of the day? You know, they're rookies too. They have a plethora of career to go through in their League of Legends career. All these guys will, even if they left Griffin, are gonna find teams. You can't tell me nobody's gonna pick up Tarzan, or nobody will be willing to pick up Chovy. Be crazy, right? So back to the mid lane matchup, Faker and Chovy. I feel like it's pretty even right now at the moment, but I think Faker does have the edge on this, and that's not because of pedigree, and I'm talking about purely just the split alone. I feel like Faker does have the edge. Chovy, I think, could match him, but we're gonna have to see how they draft for the mid lane. Teddy versus Viper. Both have been equally really good. I think that Teddy right now has the edge because he's coming in, super hot. And you're looking at the bot lane, the support lane. You have Effort versus Leyhands. I feel like Leyhands is a tiny bit better, but in terms of how SKT have been just ramping up over the course of their playoff run, then I feel like the SKT bot lane is going to have a little bit more of a chance. Griffin's only edge in this right now is that they have watched all of SKT's matches, and there have been a couple of tweets from a lot of analysts that SKT's playstyle right now can be exploited, but it takes a good team to do that. And is Griffin going to be that team? And can Griffin finally win a championship? Can Griffin finally at some point overcome the finals obstacle and win a championship? They lost to KT Rolster 3-2, really close series. They could have won that series. They got beaten by SKT 3-0, And I think that this time around, they're going to have to wait for another trophy because SKT's playoff buff right now is too strong. SKT have a great way to look actually playing around the game this time. Griffin's playstyle is reminiscent of Cloud9's, except they have the better players, obviously, to pull it off a lot more effectively. They like to take a lot of fights. Their late game team fighting is not as strong as SKT's. I feel like their objective control is stronger than SKT's for Griffin's point, but in a elongated best of 5, Griffin's players are more flexible. I've seen them play a lot more flexible picks. I feel like the SKT players are more standard. They're going to stick to their style, even if they start losing. But right now, I think this is going to be a really close best of 5 for the LCK for the ages, and I feel like it's going to all 5 games, but I'm going to give it to SKT 3-2. But if I could see Griffin definitely winning it because Griffin have looked really good as well. But hey, we've seen them just crumble under pressure, but who knows? This could be the time where Griffin take it over SKT. And if Griffin do win, I could see Griffin actually winning like 3-1 if Griffin were to win. So yeah, my prediction is SKT 3-2. I want to see 5 games between these two titans. I want to see these guys just go head and shoulders, just completely back and forth, because that's the kind of League of Legends I want to see. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy Way of Life Esports. I'm the Nightwing signing out. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.